Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, also known as My Injury Guy, which is my new brand. I've decided to brand myself as My Injury Guy. Check out my channel for my commercials. Should be posting them on there pretty soon. Or, check out my YouTube channel. I got a bunch of videos that explain how the law works. So, anyway, the topic today is, what do I want from my injury case versus what I'm going to get? Okay? So I've got a client here who called me up. He wanted to switch lawyers. He's working with a lawyer who I know is a pretty reasonable guy. And the reason why he wanted to switch wasn't a really great reason. Like, it wasn't like the most solid reason I've ever heard in the history of the world. Okay? I just kind of talked to the guy and I said, look, if you really want to switch, we can talk about doing that, but I know the lawyer you have, and this is what I do every time somebody calls me and wants to switch. I say, look, I know the guy who represents you, and I don't say this all the time, but I said, look, I know the guy who represents you. He's a good lawyer, and the reasons you want to switch seem like, he didn't call you back once and you're upset about it. But basically what it came down to after I talked to this guy, and then he actually gave me permission to talk to his lawyer and find out what was going on. And so really what the conflict between the lawyer and the client is that the client wanted, this much. He wanted a lot of money and a lot of compensation. And the lawyer basically told him, look, it is very unlikely that we're going to get this much. We're probably going to get about this much. And that's where the conflict came in. So the real conflict wasn't that the lawyer was a bad lawyer or that he didn't call the client back. The real conflict was that the client wasn't hearing what he wanted to hear. And I get it, I understand, but here's something that you have to be aware of, especially in workers' comp cases. In this case, the lawyer had actually taken the case to pretrial. Now, what is a pretrial in a workers' comp case? It is when you basically go before the judge and you present your facts, and the other side says, here's what we think we'll prove. And then the judge says, look, here's how I see it, assuming what you're telling me is true, assuming what the injured party's lawyer is saying the evidence will be, assuming what you say the evidence will be, I'm going to find in favor of the injured party for, $48,000 in that range, based on what you're telling me, assuming the evidence at trial is actually what the evidence at trial is. And that, the thing is, in a workers' comp case, that judge is the one who hears your case. Now, it's a little bit different in a third-party case, like a car accident, dog bite, bar fight, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, fall on property involving an injury. Those cases are different. Those happen at the courthouse, not at the commission. In workers' comp, your case gets assigned to a judge. It pretty much always stays with that judge. So if you do a pretrial, that judge will hear the pretrial, and now that judge has kind of told you what he or she thinks the case is going to be worth. And it's, it doesn't mean that you're never going to beat that number at trial, but that's the ballpark you're playing in. Now, a good lawyer will tell you, we did the pretrial, I don't think the judge took into consideration XYZ, or I don't think the judge really heard the evidence of XYZ, or I think the judge is undervaluing the case a little bit, based on the attorney's knowledge, experience, and also knowledge of what the evidence is likely to be, like what the doctors say about how injured you are and all that good stuff, right? In a third-party case, you are usually in front of a different judge for pretrial and trial. And so when you're in front of a different judge for pretrial and trial, like in a car crash, dog bite, bar fight, fall down, those kinds of cases, you can have a pretrial judge say, I recommend, that the case settles for $100,000. And then you go to your trial judge, and what the pretrial judge suggested may or may not have any effect on your trial judge at all. So that's a big distinction that you need to be aware of. But in this situation, it was workers' comp. And what I explained to the person is, look, I talked to your lawyer. He has done all the work, done all the depositions, and he has explained to me in great detail exactly why he thinks the judge's recommendation is what the case is probably worth. Now, in that situation, is the defendant, the respondent in the workers' comp case, are they required to go get you the money that the judge recommends? No. I've had a lot of cases that settled for more, although that's rare. I've had a lot of cases where they come in with less money because the insurance company doesn't want to pay. And I would say most of the time they do come up with the money that the judge recommends. And remember, the judge is neutral, and also the judge is the one who's ultimately going to decide your case. So if they tell you they think it's worth around, 42, 48, whatever the number is, that's going to be in their head when you actually go to trial, assuming you don't accept the money, right? So those are some things for you to think about. And it's not always like the most sound thing to get mad at your lawyer because they're telling you, this isn't a case where a lawyer just pulled a number out of his butt. This is a case where the judge said, this is what I think it's worth. Now, it turns out that before the pretrial, the lawyer said, this is what I think it's worth. And, he asked for more money, and the judge came back at, within like $4,000 of the amount of money that the lawyer told the client the case was worth before the pretrial happened. Okay? So, I have been involved in cases where an attorney kind of comes up with a number that seems really low to me. And when I take over cases like that, or, sometimes a lawyer will give somebody a number based on an initial conversation, which I never do. I don't give people numbers because if I'm going to give somebody a number, I want to know everything about the file. And they'll give you a number that represents the ability for them to settle the case quick and move on to the next case. The problem is that doesn't put the maximum amount of money in the injured person's pocket, which is what the lawyer is supposed to be doing in the first place. So there are situations where lawyers come up with numbers that are too low, that don't reflect full value in the case, and that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. But that's sort of the way the cookie crumbles. So anyway, that's how that works. And, I guess the moral of the story is if your lawyer is telling you a number and can actually explain to you in detail why the number is lower than what you were hoping for, you might want to consider that what they're telling you is true and closer to the true value of the case. Another situation is when your case has a fatal flaw in it. If your case is basically a case that the lawyer can't take to trial because there's a problem with the case that means there's a chance you could get zero, that's when you have to compromise. Remember, a settlement is a compromise. It doesn't mean you get absolute full value. If there's like a 25% chance that the judge is not going to believe you and give you zero, it's time to start being very flexible in the numbers. Okay? So anyway, thanks for watching. If you or anyone you know has been injured and needs help, let me know. Give me a call. You can call me anytime, night or day. 312-500-4500. Stay tuned to the end of the video because I have some awesome free offers and free resources that will really help you if you've been involved in an accident. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. If you or anyone you know has been hurt in an accident and needs a lawyer or even just has questions, give me a call anytime, day or night, at 312-500-4500. You can call me anytime, day or night, and the consultation is free. That's 312-500-4500. Or if you're not ready to talk to a lawyer, I made 2 great tools that really help people out that you can use for free on my website. The links are in the description. The first one is called the Case Cash Calculator, and it tells you what your case might be worth. The other is called the Good Case Calculator, and it tells you whether you might have a good case or you might have a case with some challenges. The best part is that they're 100% free to use on my website, and it only takes you 20 seconds flat to answer 7 multiple choice questions right off the top of your head. And then you get custom information about your particular injury situation fast and for free. So check them out, links in the description. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to my channel. I release 2 new videos every week, and this way you'll get notice of them. And if you have a question you'd like answered in a video, just leave a comment with your question in the comments section. Finally, if you enjoy my videos or if I've helped you in any way, I hope you'll consider doing me a favor. Injury law is a very competitive field, and I like having a small independent firm so I can help people who need it. People really rely on Google reviews when deciding who to hire, so I hope you'll consider leaving me a 5-star review on Google. It only takes a few seconds, but it's a favor to me that I would really appreciate. The link is in the description. You just go to that link, click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit, and you're done. Once again, I hope you and your family are well, and if anyone you know needs an injury lawyer or has questions, please send them my way by calling 312-500-4500. Thanks again for watching. Take care.
Did you get hurt in an accident?
Yeah.
You got an injury guy?
No.
Well, you gotta call my injury guy.
If you've been hurt in a work accident or a car crash, or no matter how you got hurt, you want a fast and fair settlement, call my injury guy. Call 312-500-4500.
Call 312-500-4500.
Call my injury guy. 312-500-4500.